Today's guest bet it all on one decision, and the moment it all went wrong, that's where the real lessons began. If you've ever faced doubt, fear, or the pressure to succeed, this episode is for you. So thank you, Acerta, for being here with us, man. The big decision, why Fatburger? You had million business opportunities. Why the heck did you pick a Fatburger franchise?
Well, really, see, that's kind of like that's like a misconception, dog, that like you have a million options, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like regular dude, regular job, you know what I mean? But I always knew I was like, oh, I was going to be a business owner, you know what I mean? So the way it first started off, actually wasn't a Fat Burger. It was actually there's a new company that came out. They're called Burger I Am, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw them on Instagram, you know what I mean? I was like, the shit that blew my mind, dog, is they're like, oh, you could get started with like 25 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like really nothing crazy. So, because I'd always known, like, oh yeah, dude, I'm gonna be a business owner. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was gonna do it. You know what I mean? But that was just always something that I wanted to do my entire life when I was a kid. And I did. I'm gonna go back to like 2014, right? It's 2014. I started my career. I had a house. Like, I was doing pretty good for myself. You know what I mean? Had a young family and had a bunch of equity in the house. And I'm like, oh man, like I think I'm gonna do something with this. I've always wanted to start a franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always wanted to start one. And like you said, that's where we get back to you had a million options, right? So I started looking them up. I'm like, okay, so I'm the first one that I've always wanted. I was thinking, doing a little research. I'm like, Little Caesars, dog. I'm gonna get into Little Caesars. So I hit them up. I'm like, hey, my name's, such and such, whatever. When I'm interested in, they're like, oh, okay. They're like, you got $2 million? And I'm like,
damn,
$2 million? Like, yeah, you got a net worth.
This is for Little Caesars?
It was like Little Caesars.
Okay.
Like, you got a net worth of $2 million and $500,000 liquid? I'm like cash? Like, yeah. I was like, no, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, hell no. Nobody just has that sitting around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you could just, and then I'm like, okay, so then I'm trying a bunch of them, dude. I think I even tried Fat Burger, and the same thing, they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be, $50,000 just for the name. So you gotta cut us a check for 50 grand.
Damn.
Yeah, and are you worth 1.5 million? So then I'd like, man, let me start this over, dude. Let me look, what can I start with, like 50 grand, bro. It's like stupid shit, dude. Like, I mean, it's not stupid shit, but it's not nothing that I want, like carpet cleaning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're just gonna buy a bunch of vans and clean carpet. I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I had in mind. Then, I guess because I was searching, one comes across, dude, and what they were doing is they were advertising to the people that they knew, because that was a huge barrier of getting into the industry, you know what I mean, was the money. Like, nobody's worth that fucking kind of money, you know what I mean? Like, not just your average dude, you know what I mean? And I thought I was doing well for myself. And Burger I Am, that's who they were targeting, the people who wanted to get in. So their whole thing is they were like, hey, look, do you have 25 grand? We can get your business started.
Yeah, that's doable. 25.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that's totally doable.
I got 25
compared to those other options.
So I set up a business. You know what I mean? They're like, so I go in there, and they're like, oh yeah, dude, like, they take me to their like flagship store. It's in I think it was in Hollywood or Beverly Hills, something like that. Right. Nice. So I'm going in there, and dude, there are people in there eating. It's like, oh damn. They're like, and you could be a part of this. They're like, we only have like 10 stores at the time. You getting in on the ground floor, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So then they set up another meeting, and I go to like their corporate office.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, man, just bring in a check for 25 grand, and we'll kind of take care of the rest.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So I walk in there, right? Walk in there. There's the CEO, right? He's sitting there, dude, and he has the Patek Philippe watch, dude, and I'm just like, oh man, dude, and this is how ultimately how he sold me on this idea, dude, where I didn't even question shit. Is he was like, oh, do you like what you do for a living? And I'm like, it's cool. right? And he's like, 3 months out, he's like, I guarantee you one thing, dude. 3 months after you open up your store, you're gonna quit your job. And I was like,
damn,
bro, when he told me that, I was like,
come on.
So that's what sold you.
I signed right there and then, dog.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was that the moment where you said like, I'm doing this?
100%, dog. Yeah, I do $25,000. Like I'm already in, 25 grand, and I'm thinking like, but little do I know, bro. This is just his whole job was just to get me to sign on that line. Like, this is just the start of them. Like, they're gonna start picking you apart, dog.
Yeah.
Like, or you're gonna get in. You're about to get in deep, dog. You know what I mean?
You already kind of knew. Like,
yeah, like they already got you for 25 grand.
That.
If you decide to change your mind, I think you did have a little bit of time, dog. You had like 30 days or 60. I forgot. No, I think it was because licensing, they take a lot of time. And they said if we don't find you a location within 90 days, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool.
Okay,
So I go to the real estate part, right? And they're like, well, where are you looking at? Well, I live out here in IE. I'm like, well, I'm looking, somewhere in IE, Rancho, whatever. Oh, we got a perfect location right here, blah, blah, blah. Cool, sign me up. All right. Weeks go by, months go by, long time goes by. And I was like, hey, I just saw like a coming soon sign, Burger I Am, whatever. Like, what happened? I thought.
Yeah, you're doing your own.
I thought that was supposed to be mine.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you know what? Like, we double booked, we double sold.
Oh,
like,
wow.
My bad. I said, you know what? Just give me my 25 back.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have it right here. It's guaranteed, right? Give my 20. You didn't find me a location, give my money back, and, we'll go from there. And then they're like, no, we're going to find everything's up. No, you got a solution to fucking everything, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right.
So with going back to that, would you say that was the biggest red flag you ignored? Or now knowing what you know now, when you reflect on it?
You know what the biggest red flag is in like starting a franchise or getting into a franchise? The biggest red flag is if you go to this store, actually there's a couple. There's a couple of red flags, but if you go to this store and everywhere you're looking on the cups, on the whatever, if it says franchise available, you know what I mean? Ask about franchise. That company is not into selling whatever it is, burgers, they're into selling franchises.
Franchises.
That's their whole business. The other huge red flag is if that company doesn't have corporate stores. Because when they don't have corporate stores, they have no skin in the game. You know what I mean? They can tell you, hey, sell the burgers at this price, do this, do that. You know what I mean? And
correct.
For them, they're like, oh, we're coming out with a new menu, put all this shit on the menu, put all this whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, that don't make sense. Oh, we're doing wings now. You're gonna put in deep fryers, and you're gonna do this and do that. But because they don't have corporate stores, they don't care. And guess what everyone has to do? They have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Just making more money, dude. So like to me, like that's a huge red flag, dude. You know what I mean? That the companies where they're advertising hard on selling franchises versus selling pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like moving forward, right? So I'm telling you, dude, this is just the start of it. This is just the start of it.
So how quickly did you realize running a franchise wasn't like a plug and play as people think?
Oh, from the jump, dude, right from the beginning. So we get the location, and they just want you to sign a lease, 9-year lease. I'm like, okay, and every time I'm like trying to question stuff, they have like, they're just talking, hey, dude, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. A big one they kept pushing was like, all you gotta do is get open.
Yeah.
All your problems are gonna be solved. Like money solves. Once you get open, dude, you're gonna be off and running, man. You're gonna have 5 stores. Like they're just hitting on you like all your emotions, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're like, oh damn, dog, I'm about to. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have 5 stores. I can't wait. Right? So then they're like, all right, now you got to go get your blueprints. I'm like, okay. So I go get the blueprints. I go in there and they're like, it's like 15 grand, dude. You know what I mean? I didn't know back then. What I know now, like, that's not what blueprints cost, dude. They cost like, for that store, maybe like 5 to 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But would you say, since it's a franchise, you kind of had to run what they were giving you, or were you able to go to like a third party and ask for the blueprints?
No, like on certain things you did. Like when it came to choosing a contractor, you did have a little bit of leeway. Okay. They would try to like put, but really I think, I don't know this for sure, but I really think it's like, that's probably like more like laws, because if not, because everything that they, like, you have to do this, they didn't, like, you had to do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to use our POS system. You have to use our distributors. You have to use, you know, but things like contractors, there's probably laws, I don't know for sure, that like, well, you can't force somebody to, you know what I mean? I imagine, because I'm like, why wouldn't they just force a contractor on me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They definitely tried to steer me towards a specific contractor.
And that guy was probably already lined up for past franchisee owners or whatever. So.
Dog, this dude had unfinished stores like all up and down California.
Jeez,
and I, thank God, dude, that I started calling other people, and I'm like, hey, you know, just, you know, about the contractors or whatever. We'll get back to, so I get the blueprints, and then I submit the blueprints.
Right.
They send them back. I send them back. They send them back. Dude, we do this like for back and forth.
And how long is this taking, you think, approximately?
Like, I'm already
months?
been in, this is like 6 months already in, dude, from the
from
the day that I,
so you're already losing money.
That I signed. No, not really, because I haven't.
You don't have like a rent to pay.
No. Like I have no overhead yet. Right now I'm just I'm in the 25 grand and then the 15, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm already in like 40, and I have like no more, like I have like no more money, right? But they're like, don't worry about that. You just gotta get open. Like, all right, dude. So then it takes a year to get a building permit, like for you to be able to start building, right? So now I'm in it like a year, and then they go, oh, congratulations, now you can start building. Now go find a contractor. And I'm like, okay. So I go, they send like 4 contractors to me. One dude comes in and he's like, oh yeah, here's my blueprints, this is what I want done. First dude quotes me $400,000 to do this build out. $400,000. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, we're done, dude. I was like,
how big was the location?
Dude, what was it?
Like estimate, like
1,500
like
square
size.
feet. Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
something like that.
That is incredible.
Go Wingstop, Five Guys.
Like, Five Guys
kind
of size.
Like
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they call them like mid-size like restaurants or whatever.
That is crazy.
So that dude comes in. Another dude, the one that they were really pushing on me.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's like, but I'm telling you, dude, I think this is all like, they throw that guy at you first.
Yeah.
So when the next guy who they really wanted, you know what I mean, you to go with, that dude comes in, he's like, you know what, I'll get it done. I normally don't do this, but I like you. Stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it for $230.
$230.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for $230,000, right?
For you.
Just for you. And I was like, hold on, dog, stop this shit. So I go back and I'm like, hey, you guys said $150,000. Like that was what it was gonna take, and they said no. Starting at $150,000.
Starting. That's
they're
the
like
key word.
Yeah, they're like that's like if you wanted to be like in a mall.
Yeah.
Or like one of these like Haven City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
so that's like the fine print.
Or you just want to be there like you're doing a full blown like store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, fine. And I'm like, well, you guys also said that you had financing available. I'm like, are you guys gonna finance this? They're like, no, we have like financing options, SBA loans. That's another fucking big misconception, dude. These SBA loans.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's a small business loan, right?
Oh, small. Okay, right on.
Because again, dude, coming like from where we come from, you thinking that's a huge like, oh, I'll just go get a business loan.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what an SBA loan is. I mean, I find this out now. Like, an SBA loan is for somebody who already has a business,
really
has been in business for years, can show that he's profitable.
Okay,
and let's say he's looking to expand, or he's looking to open up another store.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need a
That's
resume.
where you get an SBA
resume,
loan,
right,
dude.
Okay.
But all over their Instagram, it's like SBA loan, SBA. They're like, oh no. What we do is we send you to this lender. They get you the money.
Yeah.
Once you're up and running, Then we get you the SBA loan because it's gonna be low interest. It's like a mortgage almost. It's gonna be for like 30 years.
Yeah.
They're like, back to you just gotta get open. You just gotta get open.
Get open.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine. This dude comes in at 2:30, and I'm like, dude, I said, there's no way, dude. There's no way. It's way too much money. I'm like, I should just be out. You know, be done with it. So I hit up one of my friends, dude, and I tell him, hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, dog, but you're already in like 40 grand, dog. Like, you can't walk away from that shit.
Yeah. So let's say, like, if you were to walk away, do you get any of that 40 grand back, or would you get half of it, or percentage of it?
Well, I wouldn't have gotten nothing back for the blueprints. I wouldn't have got, and then back to the, some people were getting their franchise fee. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Some people were getting their franchise fee back, but it was taking them, they were jumping through hoops, or whatever, but some of them were getting it back.
Yeah.
But after talking to my boy, he was like, nah, man, you're already in it, dog. You just got in it. Yeah.
That's scary, too, because it's like, when you're down that much money, bro.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not going to walk away from this
thing.
thing.
Like, you can't just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I can imagine the sleepless nights that you would have just imagining, like, do I keep going?
Yeah.
Or cut my losses, you know?
So then they're like, we're going to send you to our finance department.
Right.
Like, all right, cool. So I go back over there, and they're like, all right, there's this company. What you're going to do is basically, you're going to sign your life over to them, everything. You're going to give them all your information, right? And then so I call this company, dude, and they're like, all right, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna give us all this information. If anybody calls you, you tell them that you're remodeling your house. And I'm like,
that sounds like some crypto.
Oh, hey,
So
it's
at
super.
At that point, were you already sketched out, or you were kind of
a little bit, yeah. But I call them back, and they're like, no, I'm full, like, this is just how it's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I have nobody to ask, nobody to bounce shit off of. I'm trusting them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm going back to him like, man, that dude said I was going to retire in 3 months, dog. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to be a baller, dog. Like, he was wearing the watch. He was wearing the watch. Yeah. I was like, I never even seen that Apple screen, dog. Like, I was like, dude, this was, So that's what they keep telling me. Hey, this is how it's done. This is how it's done. So I'm getting these phone calls, right? Oh, this is some fucking, not a bank. What do you call them?
A lender?
No. Like God, I'm drawing a blank, dog. Like you have banks and then you have credit unions.
Oh, credit unions.
So I'm getting calls from credit, but they're like from Kansas.
The hell?
Mississippi.
Wow. They're reaching out everywhere.
Yeah. And not only that, dude. Then what they're also doing is they're putting all your information to go get a bunch of credit cards. They're just cash advancing.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, dude, you just keep telling them. They're like, but we're gonna get you that.
Yeah. And is that impacting your credit?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
At that point, because they're just running everything.
Fucking nose diving, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I had amazing credit, and I was still able to keep up with the payments at that point.
Yeah.
And then one day, and then I think I ended up getting kind of like almost scared. They ended up doing 90, right? They got 90,000 for me, right? And then
is this credit union or SBA loan?
I don't even know.
You don't even know where it came from.
It's just that fucking that company
the dark
and all that. And then what that company did was they gave me they actually went and got like 115.
Yeah.
And then they gave me 90, and like that was their payment for getting you like $90,000.
Yeah.
But my loans were for like 115. So now I'm like, okay, well I have 90. And then they were like, okay, now we're gonna go start getting like more loans, and you just have to keep saying the same thing. Improvements to my house. And I was like, no, you know what? Stop. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, because all you're doing, I'm like, let me walk over to. I ended up walking into because of the job, you know what I mean? Because of the job we have, because of the credit that I had and all that stuff, dude. I walk into Chase, and I'm like, hey, I just need a signature loan. They gave me 50, you know, just based off of whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and this place is doing all kinds of
weird
crazy, just for a signature. So I signed. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I got So now I'm like, okay, I got 140, and then I still had like a little bit of other money, and then like I got the 150 now.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, okay, good, dude.
Good. Got it. Yeah.
We got it.
And the crazy part, you're doing all this still while you still have your full-time state job.
I have my full-time job. I have a family. I have all that stuff going on. But right now, it's not really. It's mostly just like phone calls, meet up. You know,
you're not
what
even
I mean?
dealing with the whole. Let me get this fat burger.
Nah, dude, we haven't even started.
And stuff.
So once that dude came in, he came in at 240. I was like, nah, that's way too much, dog. I'm like, you guys said 150, blah, blah. So they end up sending another contractor to me. That dude, the one relationship that I made in this whole process was, his name was Chip, dog. He was this cool ass dude. So he comes in, and then I just tell him flat out like my story of what's going on.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. He goes, so at what point does this not get done? I said, dude, I can't do it for more than 160. No, I think I did tell him. I think I told him like 140, something like that.
Right.
He's like, let me see what I can do. So we meet up a couple weeks later. He's like, I can get this done for 160. And I'm like, okay. Goes back to it's doable. I'm only like 20 away.
Yeah. So you're going from 400 to 200 to 160.
And you know what? And I bet you anything, when they offered you that $400,000, they probably tell that to people that have that crazy amount of money that are just like, you know what?
100%. The ones that walk in and
down to earth, real dude, like
just regular dude trying to.
That second guy was probably like, okay, we'll just go ahead and send this guy. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's probably the more real approach that you're going through. You know.
Yeah.
So you're at that 160 now.
So at the 160, and then he's like, yeah, just sign. And this whole process, dude, shit's so expensive that I'm losing like the value of even money at this point. Yeah. Because he's like, well, write me a check for $30,000, and I'm just like,
we'll get it going.
I've never even seen this type of money like in my bank account. Being tossed around like that. Like, write a check for $15,000, write a check for $30,000, write a check for $25,000, and I'm like, gosh, damn, dog, like this is getting out of hand. But it goes back, and then every time I go back, like, bro, you just gotta get open. You're gonna be making fucking $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. You know what I mean?
Going back to that, like how he sold you the dream of, owning it, leaving your job within 3 months. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much control do you think you actually had as a franchise owner?
So far at that point, the only control that I had was picking the location. Yeah. Right. The location was awesome though. I'll give him that. It was right off the freeway. So you have a freeway pylon. I was already like, oh man, this thing's gonna,
Can you tell the audience exactly? Do you remember like the address or where it's at? Just so people that live in Riverside can remember.
It was right off of the 91 in Arlington where that, where the LA Fitness and the 99-cent store, and the Target. Okay. And that's the other thing. I'm like, oh dude, these are anchor stores. Yeah. The Target, the whatever, like just gonna bring traffic in. Yeah. There's a Starbucks across. Like, in all this I'm seeing, I'm like, nah, okay. This is, they know the business. They know, like, they want me to be successful. Nah, fuck no, dude. They just want to sell you a franchise. Yeah. They don't give a fuck what happens to you. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Do some of these places make business? Hell yeah. Some make a gang of money, you know what I mean? But some do, some don't, but they're gonna make money regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but did I have control over picking him? So I pick him, dude, and now we're like, bro, I'm like a year and a half in. Damn. Like going on almost like 2 years. Yeah. Right? And we haven't even started building. Wow. We haven't even started building yet.
I remember you said it was nothing.
There was nothing. It
wasn't like you were taking over a business that was once before. It was from the ground up.
From the ground up. Like just straight up like nothing. Yeah. And like a slab of concrete.
Damn.
Yeah. So he comes in, he's like, okay, so we start building, and now, bro, like the dream's starting to come together, dude. Like I'm seeing, like, I would drive by there all the time because we live. We work not too far from there. I don't even live out there, but I would drive by. I'm like, oh shit, this shit's going up, dog. They got the wood.
It was a vision. The vision.
Yeah. I was like, oh, and I was like, I'm gonna have my sign up there, dude. I'm like, it's gonna be worth it. So that's how I would like, you know. But I remember my mom and my wife, dude, they were kind of like, they're like, we have no idea. We don't know. They're trusting that. Like, that's because they're my biggest, like, support.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, in my life, dude. And I remember my mom even getting those loans. She saw those loans. Actually, she's the one who was like, made me go to, like, go see what you can get. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, do you even know what they're charging you? Do you know this?
Yeah,
do you know that? Any of this shit? I'm like, no. She's like, look at this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like, this is like crooked. This is like, you know, like mafia loans, dude. Like, you're tripping. She's like, just go down and see what you can get. And I was like, okay, but they're kind of questioning stuff. But even then, when they go and we would go see it, and I take my kids to go see it, and it's like, oh, now it's coming together, dude. And now you're seeing like, oh fuck, dude, the kitchen's coming in, the restroom, like, you know, like now you can start the office.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this is gonna happen, you know. And then but then what happens is, okay. Oh, the cool thing was. The contractor like so we go and start building, and then he's like, it's small steps, like everything's he puts in the electrical, they have to come check it. He puts in the plumbing, city has to come check it. Puts in the foundation, everything, like they have to come and check. Well, they came in one time and they were like, oh, you see this pipe, how it goes like in the shape of a L? It's supposed to go in the shape of a J. Right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, concrete is already poured over it.
Oh my god.
Right? But he's like, it's not supposed to drain it. And then the contractor goes, but that's how the blueprint that you approved.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but now that I'm here, like, it can't drain that way. It has to drain this way.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, okay. So then he comes back. He's like, it's gonna cost you like $16,000, dude.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to
Just
bust all this concrete
pipe,
out.
Dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have to bust all this concrete out. We're gonna have to change the position of not this pipe. Now, all the one that was going that way, now has to go this way.
Yeah.
I go like dumb
And
shit
it's like,
like
what kind
that.
of progress is that?
Yeah, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's
He's like,
ridiculous.
but he's like, I got a little good news for you. He didn't know that they were gonna put in the restrooms, like the landlords.
Yeah.
He's like, so that saved you 20.
20 grand.
Yeah, it saved you 20. So he's like, we're actually at the 140, but he's like, but I guarantee you more of this shit is gonna come up, right? And I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
So that happens, but we just keep pressing forward, and then, well, we get to the point where like it's done, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dog. Like, you know, the store itself is done. And then now, but it has no equipment, no employees, no fucking, like, it's just.
So with all that, the franchise fee, are they providing that for you, or do you have to buy all that individually after all?
That's what I mean. So I'm thinking, I'm already in this motherfucker like 160,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then they give me another piece of paper, right? They're like, hey, this is your FF&E. I'm like, what's that? Like furniture, fixture, and equipment.
Oh,
bro, it's like $90,000.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh, dude.
Where the fuck am I supposed to get $90,000 at? Right?
Yeah.
After all that.
Like, cause I don't have a sign. I don't have, like, I have a building. I have a kitchen with like pipes and shit going to, but I don't have like, I don't know sinks.
Yeah.
I don't know stoves. I don't have no ranges. I don't have none of that shit.
Yeah, I asked you that one time.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have no booths.
Yeah, no booths.
No tables.
Wow.
No chairs.
So that's
cash
included
holders.
90 grand.
No POS system.
Oh,
No nothing. Right. I don't have
gosh,
none of that
dude.
stuff.
What a nightmare, man.
Yeah. So at that point, I was like, "Fuck, dude." I'm fucked.
Where are you gonna get that money from?
Where am I gonna get that money from, dude? And then it goes back to like. So, luckily, I wish I never did, but I basically go to my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mom like now. Oh fuck, that was another thing, dude. So I call these dudes and I'm like, I don't have this fucking money. You know what this fool tells me? Like, you don't have an uncle you can ask?
Oh wow.
I said, you want me to go ask my uncle for the night? What fucking uncles do you have, bro?
Is this the paddock watch guy?
Yeah. You
Wow.
don't have an uncle, dog? No.
Can I ask you?
I'm like, no fucking
Yeah.
uncle with
Yeah.
$90,000 to lend me. You know what I mean? And then he's like, yeah, oh, okay, wait, don't worry. We got another loan person for the equipment.
Another guy.
Some dude from
Ready to
Arizona, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll finance all that shit. Again, my mom sees that shit like fuck no. She's like, look, I'll shoot you the money, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, all right, thank God, right? But I still have like, no, this shit's gonna work out.
Yeah.
So we move forward, we get everything in it, right? Get everything in it, furniture, everything. Now it's a fucking store, dog. I have my sign up, all the neon, all this kitchen. I'm like, oh fuck, this shit's really happening.
Man, this is mine.
Yeah, this is mine, dude. Like the dreams coming together, bro. Then they come out and they're like, all right, now you just need your occupancy, like official occupancy you get from the city.
Yeah.
And your final inspection. So the lady comes, she does a final inspection. She's like, yeah, here it is. Here's your occupancy fucking thing. I go down to the city and I'm like, hey, she approved me. Dude, here it is. And then she's like, the lady gets it and she's like, oh, congratulations. That'll be $22,000.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, for what?
God, dude.
I'm like, for what? Right?
Like
$22,000, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, for what? She's like, oh, well, we have to tap you into like the sewer.
Yeah.
I'm like, that costs $22,000. And the dude, I remember to talk to the contractor. He's like, man, all it is a switch.
Man.
It ain't like he's like, you're already tapped into that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like, this shit's just, and now I'm going back to, I'm like, I don't even have that shit. Dog.
Yeah.
Like, so at times, I mean, my wife, well, she wasn't my wife then, dog, but like, you know, she's just like, dude, she had like 30 grand. She's like, boom, she gives it to me. Like, we're already this far in.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, oh, thank God. Boom, do that. And I'm like, it's going to come together, dude. You know what I mean? I somehow at some point, dude, I've been, bro, and you think like that's the worst. No, the worst part's coming, dude. We haven't even got to how I ended up as a fat burger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I'm ready to open, dude. I'm ready to start hiring, all that shit. We put it out there, like, all right, we're gonna start hiring and shit. And my cousin was gonna be the GM, and you know, we had all that.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, the contractor comes and he's like, hey, dude, he's like, you know, they're building one like half a mile from here. And I'm like, what do you mean half a mile? He's like, oh, it's on the other side of the freeway.
Yeah.
I'm like, a burger I am? He's like, yeah. I said, shut the fuck up. I get in the car, and I go over there, dog. Coming soon, burger. No, it didn't even take me 2 minutes. Like 2-3 minutes to get there, and I'm like, coming soon, a burger I am, dude. I'm fucking trying to look in there, dude. I'm like, there's nobody there. I get on the phone, I'm like, what the fuck did you guys do? You guys just, they're like, I said, you guys I said, in my contract, I'm like, I have a 5-mile radius in any direction. I said, they're not even a mile away. We'll call you back.
Oh, wow.
We'll call you back. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? So I'm sitting there, right? I'm like, do I try? The only person that I can contact really is like, yeah, I can bounce shit off of like my wife, my mom, is the contractor. He's the only one in the business.
Yeah.
So I end up sitting down with him, and I'm like, dude, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And he's like, check this out, dude. He's like, I've been in this business of building these like franchises. He took it over from his dad. You know, he's like, so the business was like 40 years old. You know, because he was already an older cat, and he was like, I took it over from my dad. He's like, man, we built Subways, Jamba Juices, this, all kinds of shit.
Right.
And he's like, in all those years, I built hundreds, if not thousands of these stores. He's like, there was not one of them that I said, I got to get in on this shit.
Yeah.
Not one.
Really? Wow.
He's like, so my advice to you, he's like, it says Burger I Am, right? He's like, take off the I, put it after the M, put a K and an E, call it Burger Mike's, and fucking just start selling burgers, dude, and see what happens. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm like, yeah. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, fuck, dude, are you fucking kidding me? So now I'm like,
are you consulting now with your mom or did you have that one family member you're kind of like just going back and
my mom and my wife, dude.
Yeah.
My mom and my wife.
You want to tell them, or
cousin.
Keeping it to yourself?
Like, no. I told them like everything, and then they even went to go see, and they're like, fuck, dude, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you were the man with the master plan. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. They told me. They told me, 3 months I'd be retired. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fucking, and then I was like, Chip told me just fucking, you have all the equipment? He's like, you already have your Coke machine, whatever. Oh, we didn't even get to, there's so much shit that goes on. That I could go on for hours, dude.
I mean, all these things are popping up just left and right. Money here,
and
money
I still work full time.
So, I mean, what would you say was the biggest, like, oh shit moment? Like, the biggest one that really got you?
I think that right there, but it was COVID. But a little bit before COVID, mind you, this is now been 3 years, dog.
Yeah.
That, like, this process is.
But do you open before COVID? Or
I do open before COVID.
Okay.
But right before COVID, so when I find that shit out, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna sue you guys. Whatever. You can't put one in there.
Yeah.
But they're just like, I didn't know they're getting sued from like a bunch of fucking people who were having issues with it.
Correct.
It wasn't just
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're just like, well, sorry.
Okay, just another one added.
Yeah, just another one added. That dude had already left the country. Patek Philippe, he was gone. Yeah, he was fucking gone. He had a bunch of people came in, gave him $25,000, promised them this, you know what I mean, that had them take out a bunch, and then he bounced. Bro.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here with, So then I'm driving home one night, and I get this phone call. I don't recognize the number. I pick it up, and then he's like, hey, I don't remember the dude's name. Fucking Jim, right? He's like, oh, I'm Jim. He's like, hey, you have the Burger I Am Riverside? I was like, yeah. He's like, actually, we have a, I want to sit down and talk to you, whatever. He's like, have you ever heard of Fat Burger? I'm like, yeah, I heard of Fat Burger, dog. Like, hell yeah, dog. Fucking 2 a.m, got the Fat Burger. You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah. Shit, who hasn't heard of that shit? He's like, hey, come down. I want to talk to you, whatever. So he takes me to a Fat Burger, right? Sit down and talk to him. He's like, hey, man, you have the, you're already like 90% there. We heard about what happened. Everyone knows what happened with the Burger I Am shit. He's like, we saw that as an opportunity to go, well, you already have the store. Let's flip some of the best locations.
Yeah.
He's like, and I'll be honest with you. He's like, we went to Homegirl first because we thought her location was, a little slightly better. It was right next to a Home Depot.
Yeah.
He's like, but she said, no, I'm rolling with the whatever. He's like, so her loss is your gain, man. He's like, and we already know that you're already in a shit ton of money, whatever. He's like, all we're asking for is for $5,000, and we're gonna turn this shit into a Fat Burger, right?
So a full just conversion of everything.
Yeah. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, fuck, dude, I'm already. And then I go back and I tell Chip, I'm like, hey, man, he's like, fuck that. He's like, just like I told you. He's like, He's like, I built so many of these. He's like, just open, just start selling burgers, bro. Like, don't, you know what I mean? He's like, don't even bother with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, but it's a Fat Burger, dog. They've been open since 1950 something.
Yeah.
They're in all the music videos. They're in the movies.
Has a good name.
Yeah, everybody knows about this shit, dude. And I'm like, he's like, well, I'm like, but I need you to change it.
Yeah.
And then so that's how I start with them. I give them the $5,000, right? And I'm like, well, you know what? And then I'm over here, dude. I'm like thanking the heavens at that point, like, yo, this is gonna be like it turns into a gain for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be a Burger I Am that people don't even really know about. Like,
correct.
I'm about to be a Fat Burger, dog. You know what I mean? And in this great location.
Yeah.
This shit's really about to crack for me, dog. Like, it's all gonna come together. So then starts this journey, right? So, but I'm way more pumped, dude. I'm way more pumped. I'm way more psyched. But they're a lot more like on you as like a franchise.
Yeah.
Like, they have.
So did you have to invest more money now that you were converting into a Fat Burger?
Yeah, because now I need a Fat Burger sign.
Yeah.
I needed a.
Yeah. It's a whole nother change. Yeah.
It's a whole nother change. Not only that, they're like, we use a flat top griddle. You guys have like the ones that like Burger King uses where like it's like a chain.
Yeah.
They're like, we use flat tops, we use this. They're like, we're gonna work with what you have.
Correct.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So basically, I think that shit, dude. So then they come in, they're like, all right, dude, all your changes or whatever, like $25,000. I'm like, to change what? To change what's already a fucking restaurant? I'm like, just put up a fucking paper sign outside that says Fat Burger, dog.
Yeah, dude.
How's nobody's gonna fucking
one of
know?
those plastic banners they got.
Yeah,
going.
just put a plastic banner that says Fat Burger. I'll go outside right now, knock that shit down.
Yeah.
I'll put it up myself, dog. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, you know, the biggest cost was that because I could see that. They're like, well, we don't cook on that thing. Like, you have to give the same product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need this flat top, dude. That flat top was like $12,000, I think.
Oh wow.
Just that, you know, and that's the whole heart of.
I'm getting anxiety just.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I'm like, I don't have $25,000, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm completely tapped at this point.
Yeah.
You know, and then so I'm like, dude, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then I go to my landlords. Now, when you start from the ground up, you get what's called like a build out. Like they give you money after you're done with your build out. They give you like some of it back because at the end you don't own the building.
Yeah.
The landlord owns it.
True.
Right? So what I was supposed to get back once I opened was I was supposed to get back $50,000, right? Because at the end of my lease, they own all that shit, even though you put all whatever. So they give you like a build out, fee or whatever, they give that back to you once you open. So I sit down and I talk. They're like, look, dude. They're like, we've seen you grinding here for years. They were two young dudes. They worked for a company, and they're like, we've seen you grinding. We've seen whatever, They're like, we're gonna give you the. Hold on. They saw an opportunity too. Yeah, like, we're not gonna give you the 50. They're like, but we'll give you the 25 to turn it around. And I'm like, fuck, dog. You're supposed to give me 50.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, 25?
50, yeah.
I'm like, just give me the 50, dog. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Just give it to me early. And I'm like, but what choice? At that point, what choice do I have?
Yeah.
What fucking choice do I have? None. So, sign it. They give me the check, dude. And then
it's all good.
And then we move. So now we're going forward. We're moving forward, dude. And that was just the cost to flip it, dog.
Jeez, dude.
We haven't even gotten into like.
So
I had a train. Though their training was different.
Right. So you had employees when it was IM, right?
No, I still hadn't.
Okay.
But now they wanted me to hire 1 general manager, 4 like an assistant manager, shift leads, whatever. And then they wanted me to send them to fucking Fat Burger Academy, right?
Damn.
In Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Pay for their fucking hotels.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, I was like, where am I supposed to? I have, and then, you know what that payroll is? Like the payroll, the whatever,
No, I can't even imagine.
And then my first food order was gonna be like, cause now I don't have any food. That first food order was gonna be like $12,000. My first payroll was gonna be like 15. Yeah. So now here we just start going back up. You know what I mean? And at the end, it's like, I was like, fuck, where the fuck am I gonna get even that?
Yeah.
Damn. So Chip ends up coming back and he goes, look, dude. He's like, same thing. Like, at this point, dude, they're just feeling bad for me. He's like, in my whole career, he's like, I've only done this for 2 people. He's like, you're gonna be number 2. He's like, I'm gonna do the switch for you, and then you pay me back if you ever can.
Yeah.
If and when you can. He's like, but if you become successful and you open up 5 of these, you fucking hire me for all 5. I said, all right, fucking hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. So I had a little bit of money there, dude. But in the end, it's like, bro, we haven't even gotten to like insurance and fucking payroll and signing up for all these things. Mind you, that's just for those 5 employees. Then I gotta hire a whole staff and train them for a whole week. No money coming in, dog. 16 people at $12 an hour, 40 hours.
Yeah. So like, at that point, would you say you're using your regular job to?
I wasn't making shit, dude. I wasn't making shit, dude. Like my, I'm using that money, but not only that, like long story short, I end up going to my wife and I'm like, hey, like, and my mom, I'm like, I gotta sell the house. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no money left. I'm like, we gotta sell this shit. I'm like, in order to get open, in order to whatever, but But I'm like, hey dog, I'm a fat burger.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
shit's about to fucking.
You're like, I'll buy another house later.
Yeah. I was like, and then it goes back. You just gotta get open. So they're like, oh no, real quick. So I end up telling them like, I can't afford to fucking. I said, I know you guys normally work with like millionaires. I said, I remember when I came in here and I tried to be a fat burger. You told me, do you have like 1.5 million? I said, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so is there something that they're like, oh yeah, okay. They're like, fine, we'll make an exception. We'll let you train at this Riverside location, right? Or it was like deeper into like Temecula, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I can't afford these employees, dog. I thought I could be one, right? I thought like, I was like, okay, I'm like 5, I'll be one of them, right? And then I was like, my wife will be one of them.
Yeah.
My cousin will be one of them. Right.
And I think you even mentioned you had your kids in there, right? Working.
No. I end up fucking, God, dude, she's a freaking saint. I end up sending my mom as one of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. My mom been retired for years, dog.
That's love, though. You know?
Yeah, but she laughed at it because she was like, I'll go, but like I'm not gonna do shit. You know what I mean?
At
like,
that point, what are you thinking? Like, man, this is true support. Like, dude,
dude. My wife's there.
I gotta come through.
But then when I show up, so we hired, and then so it was me, my cousin, my wife, my mom. So we ended up just like, we just hired one person. I'm like, well, I can kind of swing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, fucking put that person. Then they tell me, no, you can't be one of them. This is an absentee, like, type of business. Like, you can't be an owner operator. Like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
What reason? I don't fucking know. So I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. So we end up hiring another person. I end up just telling the dude over there, I'm like, hey, look, you already know how corporate is, you know, whatever. I'm like, that's my mom, dude. She's not gonna be working at the fucking store. I just needed, you know what I mean? I just needed 5 fucking people.
Yeah.
Right,
you know,
right.
So you could teach her, but like she's just filling in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, okay. He's like, just keep between us, whatever, right? Okay, cool. So. Where am I now? So now we're back to the house, dude. So that's what I told him. I'm like, I gotta sell this fucking house, dude. Damn. I'm like, I don't got, but I'm like, but where do we fat bird?
And how much did you end up selling the house for?
Oh, that was the thing, dude. It had, I sold the house, and that's the thing. The house was in Hesperia, right? And I got it back when you could still get like a short sale.
Yeah.
So it already had equity in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was like...
so your profit out of it, how much would you say it was?
Like over 100.
Okay.
Right?
That
over
whole 100, did you end up putting into...
80.
80?
80 to pay for food, training, grand opening. Oh, then they wanted like you to just spend like $20,000 on advertising.
Yeah.
Advertise to the community, Facebook, this shit, that shit, coupons. Oh, a free day of just fucking everyone eats for free shit.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, but they're like, this is how it's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. But everyone's telling me, dude, hey, this shit's gonna hit for you, dog. Like all my friends and family, now that they're seeing it, they're like, this shit's gonna hit for you, dog. Like, you know, and then they're coming in and they're like, Fat Burger's like, hey, based off of what we see, dog, like in this location, like you should be making like $20,000 a week. Mind you, that's sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, you should be, you know, right around 20 a week. You know, they're maybe 15.
Right.
They're like, wait, yeah, dude, you'll have your investment back within 3 years. Your total investment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool, this shit's gonna hit.
And were you okay with that? Like you were just thinking future?
100%, dude, because I was thinking, dude, they're like, once this hits off, then same thing.
Yeah.
You just start opening up more and shit like that, dude.
So fast forward to you get everything, you go through the academy, you open up, and I think you said you opened up right before the pandemic, right? So
so we still hadn't even.
How were you feeling when?
Bro, we still haven't even had our grand opening, dog. We had a friends and family thing.
Yeah.
Where I invited all my family, all my friends, dude, and everyone, you know, ate and shit. And
Yeah.
You know, but everyone's like, oh man, good for you, this shit. You know, people from work came, like they're like, oh man, shit's gonna crack for you.
Yeah.
You know? Like, then we did what was called a soft opening. So a soft opening is basically you open up your doors, but you don't tell people like you're open.
Yeah, you're
You
just
know what I
telling
mean?
your inner community circle. And,
Yeah, people who
Yeah.
have been seen, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
you want to start getting people like, you want to get the employees like, you know, so they don't just
acclimated.
have this crazy rush.
Crazy
Yeah.
number of
Yeah.
customers outside and all that.
So I think we had a soft opening, dude, and we were open for like 2 weeks. And then we had planned for a grand opening a little bit like past that. And we do the soft opening, and dog, people are coming, dog. People are coming. Yeah. People from the gym. Most people in the gym, like who've been seeing it, because you know you go to the gym.
Just burn some calories.
And then we just all we did was put the open sign, dog. Hey, dude, and all the dudes that were like that go to the gym, people who had the basketball leagues, like all that shit. I'm like, damn, and we're just seeing now the registers are just moving. I'm like, oh fuck, dog, this shit happened. Dog, this shit's about to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he was right. I'm about to fucking retire in 3 months.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, dog, and then so 2 weeks goes by, and they're like, okay, we're planning for your grand opening. Blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. And then that pandemic shit, it was already like kind of, you were hearing about it like in December, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, it ain't gonna be shit. You know, I was like,
You
nothing's
weren't
ever
really
like,
worried
it's
about
gonna
it.
be a fucking like bird flu,
Panic.
stars type shit. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be fine, bro. I think I saw on Instagram where they're like, hey, did you hear like San Francisco closed? And I'm like, what do you mean San Francisco closed? They're like, bro, like this whole shit's shut down.
Yeah.
Like nobody's out, and they're saying like, come next week, next Sunday, it's the whole state.
I was living out there when it shut. It was eerie, like seeing San Francisco just barren wasteland.
Yeah. And they're like, you said it's gonna be Sunday. So I'm like, man, I'm not worried about that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, it's fucking stupid.
There,
So yeah, I'm like, whatever, dude. Well, that was like a week later when they said, hey, we're shutting everything the fuck down, blah blah blah. This Sunday, I still went that Monday to open.
Yeah.
Right? I went, and it was like you said, dude, there was I could see the freeway from my store, dog. The fucking freeway's empty.
Yeah.
The parking lot's empty. The fucking gym is empty. Everything's empty, dog. And I was like, oh, fuck, dog. I was like, what the fuck did I just do, dog? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? And so now everyone's just trying to like, everyone's like, you know, you call Fat, oh, don't worry, it's gonna be 2 weeks. You know what I mean? We're just gonna reschedule your grand opening for fucking 2 weeks from now. Like, hey, it's gonna be all good, dog. Don't worry about it. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So now, and then I thought like, you know, everything was. And then the real fucking work started, dog. Because now we opened back up like a couple weeks later when they had that like, okay, you're open. Like I was like, oh yeah, go back to being open.
Yeah.
So we go back to being open, and we still didn't do the grand opening. They're like, we're gonna wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're doing good. I'm like, all right, cool, man. You know, we'll be fine. And then like 10 days later, they're like, nah, shut the shit down again.
Because you don't even know what type of rules and regulations.
No, like the state was like, no, they're like, shut the shit down again.
From what I remember, that they kept on changing the policy and regulations.
Everything.
For lockdown.
New rules coming out every month. And
yeah.
And
then the worst part was, so when it finally like, they kept doing that shit. We're open, we're not open, we're open, we're not open. Well, then everyone started getting on that fucking like. Remember, everyone was just getting checks for like.
Yeah, the stimulus checks.
Yeah, stimulus checks.
Well, stimulus, and then also like if you had a job, like, or they were just fucking giving money, dog.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to fucking work, you didn't have to do shit. All you had to do was go file for unemployment and say, because of COVID, whatever.
Yeah.
So all those workers that we fucking hired, all those whatever we tried calling them all back, dude. Like almost none of them fucking came back.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, what for, dude? They were making more money sitting at home.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So now we're going through COVID at work. So we're doing fucking 16 hours. And then so shit kind of got like a little weird where it was like, oh, you're open, but with masks, 25%. Yeah. It's like stupid shit, dude.
And were people coming in or just little by little?
Little by little. Yeah. And we were getting a lot of like food orders, like, cause then that was the other thing. They're, just get on Grubhub, get on this, get on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were all like on all that shit, and it wasn't really like hitting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so you weren't really seeing the profit
No, hell no. But we were doing enough to just like keep our doors open.
Yeah.
We're doing, but mind you, we have no employees. So who's there?
Yeah.
My wife's there 6 days a week, right?
Yes.
If I'm not at work doing doubles.
And at that time, you were doing
doubles almost every fucking
back to
day. Back to back doubles.
Yes.
16-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts.
Correct.
My days off, I'm going there, and I'm basically there from open to close. So we ended up doing what I was like, dude, we need a day off. Let's just close on Mondays. You know what I mean? So we just started closing on Mondays. And then things were like slowly kind of getting normal, right? A little bit. Like maybe like a year later. Mind you, I still didn't have a grand opening, you know.
Dang.
But we're doing enough to like break even, and then here come like all the effects of COVID, dude.
Yeah.
So gas prices shoot the fuck up, food costs shoot the fuck up. Can't get no toilet paper.
Yeah.
Can't get no fucking eggs. Meat
so
costs of meat.
all your vendors, were they already raising the prices on you? Did
Everybody
you notice
was.
it or?
No, it was like overnight.
Yeah.
And then what is fat? They tell you, oh, just raise your prices.
Yeah.
Raise your prices, like, oh, okay. But when people got those stimulus checks, like, we would have like good like months when people would get them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's nothing to do with the product. The product's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the food's good. Like, they have a good product and shit. But, like, the pandemic was just like, nobody wanted to work, bro. Nobody wanted to fucking work. Remember? And then I started seeing signs outside like $20 an hour. I'm like, to work at Del Taco? What the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Like $20 an hour to work at Del Taco. I'm like, well, what the fuck chance do I have at hiring? And they couldn't even hire nobody.
Yeah, I remember the prices were going up, man.
Yeah, and you couldn't get anybody. Dog, you couldn't get anybody to work. We're there all the time. Like, I'm still and yeah, dude. And then we probably did that shit for like, man, I had just so many stories with this shit. We probably did that shit for like 2 years. Of just like work, store, wife stressed out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, mom's like, oh, and then my mom's like, hey, dude, like, can't keep watching the kids all, you know what I mean? Like,
so would you say it started impacting your family life?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Running a business, a franchise business at that.
Yeah.
And working a full-time state job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had like I think my youngest was like 2 at the time. Bro, when my wife would go home, dude, she would just like latch onto her like the entire, cause our wife's like, I gotta be there every day. Dude. She was there every fucking day, dog, except for the day that, except for the days that she wasn't there, I was there. Mm-hmm. And we had a couple employees. Dude, we were making it work with like 2-3 fucking employees, dog. You know what I mean?
And I remember you told me one time too, like, you said, I think you guys open at 10 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you said like, from 10 to 12, it's a loss because we got to turn on the fryers, turn on the lights.
Oh yeah. When you start out,
employees.
because you have to prep all that shit.
Yeah,
so you have 2 hours.
Yeah, you're hoping that lunch rush compensates.
Compensates for that, dude. But
that's crazy.
Nobody's going to work. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to work, and then the not having employees was fucking insane. And then trying to be there, and then having a young family, and
did you ever get fined? Like, 'cause I remember some businesses were saying like, screw California and their rules. Like, I'm gonna operate my business like how it was.
No, then honestly, it was mostly because like now I'd be like, yeah, fuck them. But at the time, dude, I was just like, no, I don't want to lose my franchise.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want. Yeah, I'm already. Wow, dude, they already nickel and dime me to death, dude. Like, I'm just gonna comply with whatever the fuck they say. You know, 6 feet apart, stupid stickers on the fucking.
Yeah.
So what?
Like,
I mean, moving forward, to the future, at what moment caused you to start thinking I need an exit strategy? Because I know you mentioned you finally sold the Fat Burger to someone.
Yeah.
So what was kind of going through your head there when you were like, you know what, I just want to sell it now?
Oh, so like two years goes by, right? And I think we took a Sunday. We finally like, oh, dude, we had like a couple employees. Like, okay, we're not making no money, but we're staying afloat. And then, we're staying afloat, and everyone just keeps, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Shit's gonna get back to normal. Even today, shit never fucking got back to normal. You know what I mean? This
Correct.
is
Yeah.
This is fucking 5 years after that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because that was 19, 24 years later.
Yeah.
Shit's still fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember we're at Knott's. I think we were at Knott's Berry Farm. We took the kids, and it was a Sunday. And then like the manager calls and she's like, "Hey, nobody showed up." I'm like, "What?"
Your employees.
Yeah, she's like, "Nobody showed up. It's just me." I said, "Hey, you know what? Just close. I don't give a fuck. Though.
Yeah.
Just close that shit. Close down. Shut everything off." And it was like literally that day. Like I said, that's it. We're done.
Done.
Yeah. Nobody wants to fucking work. We're 2 people.
Yeah.
Our kids are young. Like, fuck it. We'll start over. Yeah. So then it's like, close the shit down. Exit strategy. I ended up like kind of really getting fucked on because everyone else is selling shit.
Yeah.
Everyone else is trying to exit. They're like fucking like, I used to go on bizbuy.com, dude. You can buy a fucking wiener schnitzel for $100,000. You know what I mean? Like everyone wanted
that's
to get
already
the
set up,
fuck
right?
out.
With the permits,
Well,
with all
yeah,
that.
oh yeah. People were just trying to get out, dude. Yeah. Everyone was just trying to get out of there. That situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every fucking restaurant like in the area was, yeah. Remember that other burger I had? They never even opened.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I was better off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, basically at the end, dude, somebody came. Oh, I had a couple people come in. They're like, oh, what are you trying to get? I'm like, man, just give me like $100,000, dog.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
you just want to be done with it.
I just want to be done with it, dude. And then, but really all those people, they just wanted to come in and see what you were making.
Yeah.
Which was kind of dumb on my part because on it looks like it, because like on sales wise, like, but I learned that later, like, I'm like, you should just put where your sales were. Let them decide if that's enough for them.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because we were at the end of the month, like, oh, you made $30,000 this month.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but it costed $32,000 to run this motherfucker.
Because I remember.
So I lost $1,000. You know what I mean? Or $2,000. But regular people don't know that shit. You know what I mean?
You even told me one time, like, you guys made this much, but after all your fees, electricity, the gas, paying all your employees, paying your insurances,
insurance,
your overhead for the food, all this stuff. After all that, you get like a very small portion. But it don't even stop there. I remember you said you get taxed on that too.
Yeah.
On the little profit that you
little
made.
fucking profit you make. So I was sitting there, I was like, hey man, that fucking kid that's making, and then minimum wage kept going up. I'm like, damn dude, that dude made fucking $600 this week. He made more money than I did.
Yeah.
I'm the owner.
You're the owner.
And I'm the fucking owner, dog. This dude's
but you sold yourself the dream, huh? 3 months.
Yeah, but they sold me that fucking dream, dude.
3 years, 2 years later.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah. They put me together, but honestly, I think that shit had nothing to do with. It had nothing to do with like Fat Burger itself. It all stemmed down from that.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Like nobody saw the Burger I Am shit. Okay, yeah, that one. That one he pulled the fucking fast one.
Yeah.
But.
So let me ask you this. I mean, would you say that buying the franchise was the biggest mistake of your life, but like as a lesson? Was it a necessary lesson, I would say?
It was, you know what? Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was necessary because I wasn't going to fucking stop, dude.
Yeah.
I was going to fucking start something. And no matter what anybody told me, like, I remember, like, my mom was just like, hey, dude, just invest your money, like, take that out, go buy another property, go whatever. And my fucking head was no, I don't want to get rich in 30 years. I don't want to get rich in 40 years. I want to get rich fucking tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want I don't want to go get a house and just break even for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even the house that I had at that point, like the mortgage or so, I could have made $400 or $500 a month just renting it out, like right then and there.
Yeah.
If not like $1,000 once rent started going all crazy. But to me, like it wasn't enough. I don't
Right.
No idea why. But it's completely changed like my perspective on what it is to like you have to define like what success is for yourself.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And I think I didn't have a clear picture. I was young, I was fucking stupid, dog. I wanted the fucking watch, the chain, like the dumb shit, dude. The fucking cars,
possibly
whatever.
Leave your job, have the freedom.
Yeah, have the freedom to do all that shit, dude.
Yeah.
But really at the end of the day, I was sitting there and I was just like, man, dude, I had it so fucking good before.
Yeah.
Just to fucking good ass mortgage. You know what I mean? Like good job, money in the bank. You know, investing for the long haul. Like,
correct.
And then the crazy part is at the end, like, that's kind of was success, dude. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, you had already achieved it, but I just had this, like you said, just something that like I almost had to learn it because it was never gonna go away, dog. Because at heart, I am an entrepreneur, dog. Like, I really am. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
so with that being said, I mean, what's your next big move?
My story still isn't done, dog. I figured out every fucking way to not fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if I had to go back and actually somebody told me a long time ago, dude. I think I was somebody at work. Someone's like, hey, dude, if you had a fucking magic lamp and you could go talk to yourself and whatever about, or if you could start all over, like, how would you do things differently?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I would have started off small, dog. I would have started off small. I would have maybe like a food car, a food truck, you know what I mean, burger stand, like just something to where, because I remember I used to pride myself on being like, hey, dude, like, the reason why I'm gonna be successful is because fucking, I'm a stupid fucking thing. You gotta jump off the cliff and see if your parachute opens. Like, I just be like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tell you, like, well, I fucking smacked the ground. I was like, gosh damn, dog. They don't tell you, like, no, you have to be willing to be okay with that. Like, if shit, mind you, nobody saw COVID happening. No one ever thought that was gonna fucking, you know.
Correct.
Worst case scenario, I remember because worst case scenario, you built a store, you decide, hey, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
You sell that motherfucker for because they were being sold a fat burger. If you wanted one at the time, they were being sold anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000.
Yeah. At
the time, you know. So that's they said. Oh, worst case scenario, get out, wash your hands. Fuck, it's not for you. You know what I mean? But I never once thought to myself, dude, what if worst case fucking scenario happens and you lose everything, dog? Like, that shit never crossed my mind because I was like, nah, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then with COVID, like some shit that we've never seen before, dog. Like,
yeah. But I mean, in the back of your head, you still had your full-time job, so I think that's was probably keeping you going. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah. That shit was paying the rent, dude. But even then, dude, just like years of. I was still losing because at the end of them, we're like breaking even or we're getting the bills paid. We're still opening, but like I lost like $20,000 to $30,000 every year for the next 2-3 years.
Oh wow!
And you went to school too for business, right?
Oh yeah. Fucking, that's a joke.
You don't learn until you actually get yourself.
Yeah, because really, like, I went to college and I went for business, but really, they're kind of just really showing you like. I learned more in 2 months than I did in 4 years of fucking college.
Yeah.
Because they're just showing you like how a business works. Like, here's the employees, here's the fucking manager, here's here's
all the hiccups, all the roadblocks that you get.
Yeah. They don't tell.
Yeah.
They don't teach you about none of that shit.
They just kind of paint you the story like the Paddock watch guy. Hey, 3 months, you're out of here. It's your exit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So the dude, he's like, that's what I would have done differently, man, right? And then basically we just after we got out of that shit, we wanted to make up for like lost time, so it was just spending time with the family, all the shit that I was already fucking doing. You know what I mean? Like spending time with the family, taking them to all their shit.
You needed to push the pause button.
And then really realizing like what is like to me, I'm like, that's success, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have no fucking. Having no debt.
That's good that you were able to get out of all that.
Yeah.
Without having all that.
Having, you know what I mean? Investing for the long haul.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, oh shit, now I'm fucking 40, dog. Like, you gotta start thinking retirement. You know what I mean? You gotta start thinking like, well, let me start like, hey, now it doesn't seem so bad to just like, well, yeah, you'll be rich when you're fucking sick. Well, that's when everybody gets rich, dog. Because they have that time of investing or the time of learning or the time of, it just takes time. So, you know what I mean? Trying to get rich overnight, like, you end up in this situation, dude. So
let's say you had $50K to invest.
Yeah.
Where would you put that today?
I'm gonna put in the S&P 500, dog, and just let it fucking grow for the next 30 fucking years, dog. That's it. Put 50,000. Like, man, if you have a fucking compound interest calculator, you see, put 50,000 in, put maybe $100-$200 towards it. See what it looks like in 20 years.
20
dog.
years.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean.
If you could have dinner with any millionaire, billionaire, who would it be?
Warren Buffett, dog, 100%. Because that dude got rich over time. That's what he said, dude. He said the fucking, I don't know, he has a lot of sayings, dude. But one of them is like, that one of the wonders of the world is compound interest.
Yeah.
Because if you just keep, putting your money in and just letting it grow over time, dude, like, you'll be amazed what happens.
Yeah.
Like $3,000 over 60 years will turn into $1 million. Like, you know what I mean? Like crazy shit like that. You just need the time. You need the time, the patience, consistency, like, you know. But ultimately, I had to get out of my head because afterwards, dude, like, I was like, gosh damn, dog, like, I really like screwed. You know what I mean? Like, not over like me, my family, like, you know, the whole shit. My mom, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so.
That was a lot of pressure on your shoulders.
Oh, hell yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I was like, hey, dude, you went for it. And I had to start, like, because how do we, you know, success is almost like, if you made a lot of money, you were successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had to get out of that shit where I was like, no. You were successful, dog.
Yeah.
You worked hard for something. You grinded. You from a fucking nothing to a full-blown store to employees with no like basically nobody to help me.
Yeah.
Nobody I could to help me. Nobody I could go to.
You had no mentor.
I had nobody. I had no mentor and whatever.
Yeah.
But I grinded for 3 years and got that shit open. So yeah.
Well, I think you said it best when you said that. Like, what is success? Like, success is different to each individual.
Yeah.
Like, what you define success as for yourself, not what others think, or like you said, the money, stuff like that.
Yeah, but a lot of times that's what I mean. Like, because I thought that too, man. I'm like, man, let's say this shit did hit.
Yeah.
With all that pressure and everything that was going on, like, would it even have been worth it? Like,
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I have now, like, you know, being in the business, I did, you know, meet other people who were, especially in the restaurant business, dude. Like, a lot of them, they'll I knew somebody, she had a couple of, what are they called? Flame broilers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she had bought them for her kids. They were successful.
Yeah.
But the kids had worked them for years. And at the end, when she was like, oh, I'm going to give you this, they were all like, I don't want that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, that food business is, it's crazy. It's hard. It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just you're just going to go and, you got to really have a passion for it. You really got to love that shit if that's what you want to do.
Right. So what's your next big move? Are you done with entrepreneurship? Do you plan on opening anything else?
No,
something small.
I'm not done. But so one, I'm keeping to myself, dude. I'm like, okay, that's gonna work out.
Yeah.
But the other one right now is me and my wife. Like, the dude across the street, he's always like selling stuff, right? And the other week he came through, dude, and he had a like a bread truck, you know, like a FedEx truck, like one of those things. And he was selling it for cheap, dude, like stupid cheap.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, hey, dude, like we could do something with that. You know what I mean? Like,
your
I was like,
mindset was already kicking in.
Like, yeah, she was like, nah, fuck you. Do that shit. Like, you go do that shit. And I was like, no, and that's, I was like, no, I was like, look. Do it together. We'll fucking, you know what I mean?
I'm
right? I'm
small,
like, yeah, all your input. I'm like, look, we already learned what not to do. Small. There's something that we can just do on the way. So basically, ultimately, dude, what we're gonna end up doing a soft serve ice cream.
Okay.
Right, but we're gonna turn the truck to like soft serve ice cream. Do like,
that's cool.
Yeah, like nachos, whatever. Just try to do like little. Yeah. Just small events, parties, whatever. Something that we really can do as a family.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't have no fucking overhead. That doesn't have crazy costs, that should bring in
crazy employees
and pretty good profit
margins. It really should.
Yeah.
You get, you know, little car shows, festivals.
Yeah,
man, I'm thinking something like that. We got the truck for cheap. You know, we're gonna do all the work ourselves.
Correct.
It fucking takes us forever to do. Who cares?
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, dude, those trucks are worth a good amount of money. And I'm like, I said, even if we just built this shit out and turned it into a hood ice cream truck, dude. I'm like, somebody will buy this shit for, you know, $20,000-$30,000. We'll get our money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll own everything.
Yeah.
You know, we'll own everything. So she started watching YouTube videos, seeing other a lot of females are like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my ice cream truck. She's like, well, I want the inside pink. And I'm like, yeah. Fuck it, whatever.
Whatever you want.
At this point now, dude, yeah, whatever you want, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But every time, and I'll run shit, and I ran it by my mom, saying, Mom, what do you think? She's like,
there you go again. Huh?
Yeah, almost. But she was like, no, I think, yeah. She's like,
that's cool.
This is where you should have started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, well, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna do that. And
well, I don't know. I still see the fire in you, man. I know that's your next move, but I know in the future you're gonna hit something big.
Yeah.
And like I said, you could tell in the eyes. You're always hungry when I speak to you. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm looking forward to your story, man.
That's right.
See what happens. You can do a video. Come check out the ice cream truck.
Cool.
Yeah. Part 2.
We'll be waiting for that.
Part 2, dog.
Cool.
Well, brother. I mean, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
thanks for your
dude.
time and sharing your story. And thank you, brother.
For sure. All right, guys.
Thank you. So again, we want to say a special thanks to Culebra Cigar Company for generously letting us do our podcast here. It was a great help to the YouTube channel be able to do the podcast here. If you're ever looking for some good cigars to try out, they have a wide selection here. They're right across from Ontario Mills here in Ontario, California. And it's a great location just to come, vibe out with your homies, and just have a good time and have a good smoke.